Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video might be seen and shared. Celine Driver once again, bringing you another unboxing and review of a watch that is mine. I recently took a trip to Boston, Massachusetts to finally get to meet face-to-face with the folks at European Watch Company in Boston, a company, watch reseller, if you will. They specialize in very high-end watches, even some mid-range watches as well. It's a company that my father had been dealing with for quite a number of years before I restarted my watch collection journey. And I've been dealing with European Watch Company for pushing a decade now as I make this video. Now this video is not sponsored by European. They don't even know I'm mentioning it. But I've been dealing with European Watch for, as I said, nearly a decade now. And I've never had a bad transaction. I bought watches from them. I've sold watches to them. I've traded watches with them. And that's what I did when I finally got up to meet the crew, especially Robert Reustle, the gentleman that my father and I have been dealing with for quite a while. I got to meet the owner. I got to meet the repair guy, who's also another Robert Cantor. And I even got to meet Ashley, the lady who packs and ships all the watches that I end up with. And everyone was very professional, very nice, very enjoyable to hang out with them for a while. I brought with me a watch that I was initially going to trade for this watch. And I ended up trading and paying them a little extra money for two watches. And you'll be seeing that other watch in a future video. But I had my eye on this Grand Seiko for quite a while now. I used to have a Grand Seiko in my collection. I had a Snowflake. I sold that watch some time ago. Always wanted to get another spring drive Grand Seiko, but I wanted a diver. I didn't want a dress watch, and I finally found one. And this is the outer box. You can see it's pretty big. It has manuals and things like that in it that are not terribly exciting. The watch itself is in the inner box, which is right here. There's also rice paper in there, typical of Grand Seiko. And we're going to zoom in just a little bit here. Oops. Yeah, that's fine. And we have the Grand Seiko. Focus. There we go. And we have the Grand Seiko SLGA001. This is the 60th anniversary limited edition 600 meter pro diver. It's a limited edition of 700 watches worldwide. This one is number 644 of 700, and it says so on the back. And it is a full titanium watch, beautifully Zaratsu polished, as you expect from Grand Seiko. And as you can see from the smooth sweep second hand of the watch, this is indeed a spring drive watch. Specifically the 9RA5 spring drive, the latest and greatest, as it were. Beautiful bezel action. Nice and smooth. Subtly vocal. Very nice. As good as anything from Breitling, as good as anything from Rolex. Better, obviously, than pretty much everybody else. And it is, and of course, in Grand Seiko tradition, everything lines up. So Grand Seiko, you get line up on the bezel versus the 12 o'clock, whereas with Seikos, it's kind of hit and miss. You have a Grand Seiko signed screw down crown, which disengages with a pop that you can feel. We have a power gauge indicator at roughly the 10 o'clock position. Right now you can see it's fully wound up. In a nicely integrated bracelet. It is a pin and collar bracelet. The fine folks at European sized it for me. 4-position micro adjust. It's a double lock clasp. It's a fold over clasp with a double pusher release. And you have a ratcheting diver extension. The way it works is, you can see it's pretty much locked in. You unfold the fold over and push it back a little more than straight up like that, and it releases the ratchet. And you can push it in without having to play with that. But if you can see how it rocks just a fractional amount right there. But that's the unlock mechanism for the diver's extension. Excuse me. Which also you can use as an on-the-fly micro adjust release. All titanium clasp. It is a bit tall, obviously, but then again, this is a dive watch. It's not a dress watch, so you obviously have other dress watches or other watches that fulfill the slim dress watch quota in your collection. Date is at the 4 o'clock position, as is the crown, obviously. 2-position crown, pull it out once, and that's your date set. Pull it out twice. It hacks the movement and allows you to do time setting, push it all in, screw it down, and you get your 600-meter water resistance. Drilled lugs, and a very short lug overhang. It's not a very broad watch across the wrist. I'll show you in a wrist shot. There we go. And as you can see on my 7¼ inch wrist, this watch fits beautifully. You can see it doesn't have a lot of overhang. It fits nice and square across the top of my wrist. It's a tall watch. I'll get to all the measurements in a moment. It is a solid case back, as you can see, with the Grand Seiko logo. And somewhere on there it will say 644 of 700. I'm not sure because I'm looking through a camera phone. It's somewhere on there. You can probably already see it, and you're screaming into the phone, into the screen right now. Move on. We can see it. Move on. Beautifully, satinated and polished strap, or I'm sorry, more correctly, bracelet. It does come with an optional rubber strap. It's in the outer box there, and the outer box is kind of a pain to open, so I don't want to dig it out. But it's a blue rubber strap. The dial is a very, very dark blue. It probably comes across on the video, but in natural light, the dial really pops nicely. You can see the case has got alternate satination and polished. It's all done with Zaratsu polishing. Let's see. It is and the dial is exclusive Grand Seiko blue. This is a shade of blue that is exclusive to Grand Seiko only. You're not going to see this type of blue dial on a Seiko or a King Seiko or accretor. It is a flat sapphire crystal that is well protected by the bezel. For the life of me, I couldn't find out what material the bezel insert is made of. I'm pretty sure it's ceramic, and it's a 120 click bezel, beautifully, subtly vocal, butter smooth. It's just fantastic. It is a big watch, don't get me wrong. It's a 47 millimeter diameter case, but because it's only 51 millimeters on the tip to tip, probably get away down to a maybe a 6 3/4. It's pushing, but 7-inch and above wrist, certainly. My wrist is 7 1/4, and as you saw in the wrist shot, it goes across very nicely. Not a lot of overhang. It fits very well, and because even though it's a big thick boy at 16 millimeter, the titanium makes it extremely wearable, and it doesn't get heavy. It doesn't get burdensome during the day. 23 millimeter lug width. It is an oddball lug width. There are, you have a rubber strap in here, which is optional. There are companies that make leather straps, NATO straps, which I would never buy. Sailcloth straps in the 23 millimeter lug width. It's, obviously not going to be the easiest to find compared to a 20 or a 22 or a 24 even, but doable. These are non-quick release spring bars, but you can get a tool in there fairly easily. Just be careful you don't want to scratch the titanium. I am so happy to have a Grand Seiko back in my collection, especially one that has some rarity to it, one that is very special to me to own and a privilege to own. I love the spring drive. It is accurate to plus or minus 10 seconds per month. So, beyond COSC accuracy. We're talking about a whole nother level, even a whole nother level beyond superlative chronograph that you find with Rolex or the rough equivalents from other companies. This watch, it can be a daily driver. It is fantastic to wear, fantastic to own. And that's the SLGA001 60th anniversary Pro Diver. I find this to be a wonderful, wonderful watch. I don't think they come up for sale very often because obviously there's only 700 in the world. But I'm telling you, if you get the opportunity to get one of these, grab the opportunity because these are beautifully made, beautiful to wear watches. And again, thank you to Robert Reustle and the crew over at European Watch. They welcomed us in. My mom was with me. She wanted to meet Robert too because obviously he was very good to her late husband and good to her son. So they treated us royally. We had a great time. Got to hold a lot of watches that were in there that have prices that would make your nose bleed. They just hand them to me without a second thought and say, take a look at this, take a look at that. Wonderful people. Can't say enough good about them. Again, not sponsored. So, I hope you found this video to be interesting, entertaining, informative. If you did, please click that thumbs up button for me. It only takes you a half second to do so. It does help the channel with the YouTube search algorithm. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to try to insult me, you are going to try to troll me, or you're going to leave links to bad places on the internet, I'm simply going to delete the comment and block the commenter. If you're new to the channel, of course, welcome. I'm glad you found my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel. Please feel free to watch as many as you wish. And being new to the channel, or if you're a returning person but you haven't already done so, please click the subscribe button. I do have a goal in mind to get to 3,000 subscribers, and when I do, there will be a watch giveaway to celebrate. And trust me, it will be a watch that you would want to own. Not this one, but a decent watch, to be sure. And as I always say at the end of my videos, it is a crazy old world out there. Right now, it is not getting any less crazy, but hopefully in the near future, it will begin to ease up on the craziness. But please be careful out there. Stay safe. Be well. See you soon.